If you could change one thing about education, what would it be?
I would rewrite the curriculum at all levels, and I think there's time for, say it quietly, a revolution.
Welcome to Lessons for Life. I'm Gabbie. I'm Marnie. And today we're interviewing 7th Wave. Thank you so much for being here. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello, my name is Adrian Sladdin, and I'm the director at the 7th Wave Education Group, and we provide lots of training around PSHE.
Can you tell us more about your job and what you do, please?
Sure. So I've worked with teachers for a long time, and I tend to take them programs which are not necessarily about the academic programs. So I run things around safer gambling for young people, looking at gaming, good, bad, and ugly, one might say. I run programs around environmental and lots of other things like peer mentoring as well. So all part of the big PSHE program in schools. And I've been doing that for 35 years, I think now, so quite a long time.
Interesting. Can you tell us what you're trying to achieve through your work?
Yeah, sure. I've got a philosophy, which is that everybody has to learn English and maths and history and all of those academic subjects. But I'm really interested in the stuff that goes on outside there, about developing character, about emotional intelligence, about skills-based learning, and about developing the complete learner, so that we're sending people out in society at the end of their school days where they're well-rounded people, ready to be employed, ready to engage in relationships with other people. So a lot of important stuff, I think, goes on outside the academic stuff.
We're interviewing you as part of the Lessons for Life campaign. Why do you think the Lessons for Life campaign is important?
I think it's really important because we all understand about academic lessons and why they're important, but Lessons for Life is all about all the other stuff that's really good. What makes us a complete person? And PSHE, if we want to call it that, personal, social, health, education, I think has a really important role to play from primary to secondary and in life, actually.
That is really important. What problems in society do you think education could fix?
I've been thinking about this question since you sent it through to me, and I was thinking about it on the train this morning, and I've come up with a few answers. I think education is always great because it's about doing things up front rather than trying to put a sticking plaster on later, further down the line. So that's a great benefit. But more specifically, I think it's things like respect for other people, thinking about how to eradicate intolerance and bias in people. And again, only education can do these things to stop people thinking that, about other people in maybe the wrong way or an inappropriate way. So I think it's a societal good that education brings. And I think PSHE in particular is the part that addresses that for us.
That's a great answer. We're now at the back to school segment. What was your experience of PSHE or life skills when you were at school?
Well, when I was at school, which was a very long time ago, as I was just mentioning, there was no such thing as PSHE or life skills. And so really we had to kind of make it up as we went along to see how things would turn out. And although it's gone all right, I have to say that if we'd had PSHE and life skills, things would probably have been a lot better.
We're now going to test your knowledge.
Okay, I love the hat, but I've no idea what's coming next.
Adrian, please pick a card and pass it back to me.
I will be delighted to do that, but just please remember, I know nothing.
The topic is relationships. Can you identify 3 behaviours that support a good friendship?
Trust, respect, honesty would be my answers.
What is the difference between a secret and a surprise?
A secret is something we keep and do not tell, but we should also be able to tell if it makes us feel uncomfortable. A surprise is something much more short-term. It could be something, for example, like a birthday party.
You have a friend who feels uncomfortable in a relationship. How could you support them?
So the most important thing to do is listening to them and being able to think about what they're telling you. It might be necessary for you then to be talking to somebody else about how you can help them take that forward.
Adrian, what is your biggest life lesson to date?
I've been thinking very carefully about this question as well. And I think my biggest life lesson is that you have to be resilient. I work for myself these days. I run my own business, and things like COVID have been really quite difficult and challenged me a lot over the last 10 years. And I've had to keep reinventing myself. I've had to keep coming back and doing things over again to make business work. And that life lesson for not just business, but for life is be resilient. Pick yourself up, dust yourself down, get going again.
If you could change one thing about education, what would it be?
You know, I would rewrite the curriculum at all levels to deliver something that actually is ready for 2025 next year, because actually things have changed quite a lot since school was invented, and yet the classrooms look the same, the bells ring in the same way, and the lessons are fundamentally the same as they were quite a long time ago. And I think there's time for, say it quietly, a revolution.
If you could teach children one thing before they leave primary school, what would it be?
My new favourite subject is called emotional intelligence. And that's all about being self-aware, of knowing who we are, of understanding our emotions, and all of those things spinning round. And I think that everything else in life depends on that. So that's my little kind of new idea. Take it forward.
Before I finish this interview, Adrian, would you like to say something to our listeners?
Sure. In support of what I've been saying all along, I run a lot of programs at Seventh Wave around activity-based learning. In other words, learning by doing, problem solving, teamwork, communication skills. And we offer lots of programs around those, whether it's around environmental concerns, whether it's just skills development, leadership, even stuff around gaming and IT. So if you're interested in that, come and have a chat with me and drop me a note. But in other words, thank you very much for having me here today.
Thank you so much for being here, Adrian. We've loved talking to you. For more information, visit lessonsforlife.org.